Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session created for a very successful client that felt that they were still leaving too much on the table, that every now and then they would feel like they weren't really tapping into what they were capable of. And that wasn't always the case. If there was a crisis, if there was some kind of situation where their back was against the wall, that all hope seemed lost, then they would really tap into what they were capable of. But obviously it's not great to have a crisis in order to tap into your potential. Like, it's great to have that, but you don't want that to be the only catalyst. And, working with this client, it was clear that they felt frustrated that they couldn't tap into what they could in different contexts, in the context that they wanted to. And that's really what this session is about. There's a metaphor here of a limiter. And a limiter, sometimes you get limiters. I quite like go-karting, for example. And some of the go-karts are set to a maximum speed. So you get to a certain level, and even if you put it all the way down on the accelerator, it just splutters a bit because it stops the go-kart from going any faster than that particular speed. And sometimes motorbikes or even cars have that in certain countries. They have to have limiters on because that's part of the regulations for road safety. But what effectively it means is that the engine is capable of more than you're seeing. And that exactly applies to, I would say, all humans. We are all capable of more than we tap into, but it's finding the right catalyst to tap into that. And for some people, it is a crisis. And for some people, it is certain intense emotional states. Sometimes it is feeling like they've got nothing to lose. And in that kind of perfect storm, they then see what they're capable of. But you do get examples of people that can consistently get into more of what they're capable of. And I would say elite sports people fit into that. They are able to tap into either not quite their full potential, because no one can really do that, but more of their potential more of the time. And that's what their results show. And that's really what this hypnosis session is all about. So you're going to hear metaphors of limitations or limiters, but also maneuverability. That actually, if something is small and nimble, you've got more flexibility than if it's large. And that's because this client, to begin with, when they were let's say, an individual with just decisions, just thinking about them, they could chop and change their approach. However, when they have a team or a family or other people involved, decisions need to be more discerning because there is a consequence to other people. So this is really about limitations, potential, discernment, and you're going to hear one final metaphor of a safety net. And true entrepreneurs have this absolute conviction that they don't want to fail, but if they did fail, if they lost it all, they would simply make it all back again. And that just comes from this inner belief that if they've done it once, they can do it again, but probably do it even better. And I remember one case where I was at university doing my psychology degree, and this was the days of saving files on floppy disks. A lot of you will be too young to remember these, but I was saving on a floppy and it corrupted. And I'd done this dissertation, thousands of words, and I didn't realize at the time because it was very frustrating, but losing that file meant that I did the same dissertation again, but I did it better because everything that I'd done up to that point wasn't lost. It was still in me. And by me rethinking it and doing it again actually meant it was better than the first time. And that is a great way of looking at when things go wrong or things do fail, is kind of like, okay, it's an opportunity to do it even better than before. And that can be a great safety net to mitigate the fear of, well, if you go all out, what if you fail? Well, no, if you fail, you're going to learn, and you've got an opportunity to do it even better the next time. So I think this is quite a useful, particularly for very driven, ambitious people. It was created for an individual. Not all of the suggestions are going to be relevant for you. But if you like the idea of working with me, and that could be from a business perspective or a sports perspective, whatever it might be, there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule that free consultation call. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in a slow, calm, relaxing breath. And as you exhale, just release any tension around your eyelids, forehead and jaw, and feel that tension leave your body in that outward breath. And when you breathe in, imagine breathing in resourceful relaxation that seeks out any echoes of tension in your body, allowing them to melt away. And feel that tension dissolve, evaporate, disintegrate. And imagine that tension leaving your body in that very next outward breath. So breathe in and breathe out, and give permission to release any expectations, any worries or concerns. That's it. The deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And the more relaxed you become, the more your imagination awakens. And I want you to imagine what it would be like to be on a beach. And I want you to imagine staring out at a jet ski. I want you to imagine this jet ski is very powerful. Imagine being on that jet ski, on still waves, gently bobbing, but nothing large. And I want you to imagine what it would be like to accelerate on this jet ski. But something isn't quite right. Even when you accelerate to the maximum level, you can hear the sound of spluttering. That it feels like the engine power is restricted. I want you to get a sense that on this jet ski, you are capable of only going half as fast as what the jet ski is capable of going. And I want you to feel that this limitation is depriving you. It's depriving you of acceleration, of fun. But it's also depriving you of making swift changes. That the acceleration on this jet ski could enable you to change course rapidly if you ever decided you were going in the wrong direction. And I wonder if there is a part of your mind that can recognize this limiter, this restriction, that there is a part that is triggered by expectation or fear that limits what you're capable of doing. But while you're on this jet ski, I want you to notice how quickly you can change direction. That in a moment, you could do a 180 turn and go in the immediate opposite direction within seconds. And I want you to imagine seeing up ahead a luxury boat, a large boat. But this time feel that the limiter has been released. So increase the acceleration as you make your way to this luxurious boat, a large boat, but still powered by engines and not the wind. And as you get close, just imagine docking the jet ski at the rear of the boat and making your way on this boat. That the boat is even more powerful, and yet you still feel there is a limitation on it. But I want you to get a sense there's other people involved now. The jet ski was just you, and the boat has a crew and passengers. But feel that you are the captain of this boat. And I want you to get a sense that the fuel is more than enough for you to keep on going. But change on this larger boat comes at a cost. It isn't the case that you can just immediately take a different turn. It takes time to move it in a different direction. And notice how much more discerning and a sense of due diligence you feel when changing direction on this larger boat. And I want you to imagine seeing a storm up ahead. And when you see the storm, that limiter on the engine of this boat seems to disappear. That when you need it, you can go as fast as you want. And then imagine the storm subsiding. And it's just blue skies and sunshine. And notice that when things should be easy, your own expectations become the limitation. And I wonder if your mind is willing to release you from this limitation. I wonder if your mind is willing to give you the same power on a sunny day as it gives you on the storm. Because if a crisis is what it takes to tap into your full potential, you are inviting crisis after crisis into your future. And I wonder if now is the time to allow yourself to tap into your full potential simply because you decide to utilize it. I want you to imagine a dream car, a versatile car that can go on any terrain, has a powerful engine. But I want you to imagine, after buying this car, you realize this also has a limiter. And the limiter may keep you safe and stop you from having an increased possibility of crashing, but it also implies that you're not responsible. It has an implication that you can't be trusted to use something so powerful. And I want you to decide that your past is evidence that you can be trusted to know when and if to use the power. To be irresponsible would be to use the power all the time, even in a busy built-up area with lots of people walking. I want you to get a sense that you can trust your own intuition, to have access to the full power, but to be discerning when you use it. And if you agree, let me know by nodding your head. So now imagine finding yourself in a garage, knowing exactly where the limiter is, and feeling that you have the knowledge and the skills to remove that limiter. But I want you to imagine that when you remove that limiter, you're not just doing it for the car, you're also doing it for the boat and the jet ski and your own mind. Because the limiter in a vehicle is designed to either make you conform to the rules or to try and keep you safe. But when you can keep yourself safe by making good decisions, the limiter does not protect you, it confines you. It stifles you. I want you to get a sense you don't need that limiter anymore. You're done playing not to lose, and now is the time to play to win. And there will be times that you do want to play to win, and others where you want to play just to have fun. And I want you to get a sense that just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to. I want you to imagine the person you consider to be the fastest person on the world, the fastest person on the planet. And just because they can run 100 meters in under 10 seconds doesn't mean that they need to or have to. But it's better to have the power and the capability and be discerning when to use it than to need it and not have it. In the same way that it's better to be the warrior in the garden than the gardener in the war. To have the capabilities and the skills and not need them than to really need them and not have them. And now imagine being back on the boat, not needing to go at full speed, just allowing it to kind of find its way as you relax there on the dock under the sunshine, feeling that you are the warrior in the garden, having the power but choosing not to use it, as you allow your mind to open up to new ideas. And perhaps these ideas aren't necessarily new, but just useful. A seed can always grow, but only in the right conditions. And maybe these seeds have been in dry conditions for a while, and now is the time they find soft, damp soil. And I wonder if with every decision you're willing to know when to commit fully to playing to win, and in those circumstances knowing that success is your only outcome, whether you achieve the goal or gain the exact lesson you need, it's valuable for you. And as you focus on your goals, decide that now is the time to let go of any fear of loss, understanding that each step forward brings new growth, new strength, and new opportunities. You feel a deep sense of excitement about every challenge, knowing that with every bold move, you leave less on the table, and in doing so gain more from life. That you can completely trust in your abilities, believing that your potential is limitless when you release the fear that holds you back and allow yourself to step into your power. You embrace the mindset that each effort either leads to victory or teaches you the perfect lesson, and both outcomes are valuable and empowering. That the idea that you learn more from your losses than you do from your wins only works if you are playing to win. So this desire to play to win is becoming a natural part of who you are, driving you to take action, to focus, and to push beyond your limits with confidence and clarity. So release the fear of getting in your own way. And in doing so, you open the door to greater opportunities, trusting that you can handle any outcome with resilience and stoic determination. And each time you take bold action, you reinforce the belief that you are simply meant to achieve great things, and that playing it safe only limits your potential. So feel that powerful drive to aim higher, to push yourself further, and to win, knowing that this mindset will allow you to grow, evolve, and succeed. Now is the time to let go of any self-imposed limits, embracing the understanding that the more you push beyond them, the more you will discover what you are truly capable of. And with each step forward, trust that you are learning, growing, and becoming more skilled at winning, simply because you are choosing to play at your highest level. That there are levels to the game, and you only graduate to the next level up when you've pushed yourself to the limit of your current level, because you are unlocking your full potential, allowing your creativity, passion, and determination to lead you towards success in every aspect of your life. And each time you release the fear of loss, you gain clarity, confidence, and a stronger belief that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Playing to win doesn't guarantee you win, and that means embracing uncertainty. But what if the uncertainty is the adventure that reveals more of your true potential? So release the limiter within you, allowing yourself to access all of your internal resources, mental, emotional, and physical, so that you can give your best every time you choose to. With great power comes great responsibility. And allow yourself to believe that you have the ability to be discerning with when and how you use that power. And when your unconscious accepts that discernment and good judgment are just as important as capability, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. So now feel a surge of energy and motivation, knowing that you are designed to play at your highest potential, and that playing to win brings out the best in you. And a crisis is not the ideal catalyst to bring out your best. So as you move forward, you embrace a deeper understanding. Playing to win is not just about the result, but about living fully, pushing your boundaries, and evolving into the strongest version of yourself. Because nobody wants to be 80 or 90 years old, thinking back of all they left on the table, of everything they could have done if only they pushed a bit harder. So every time you choose to push harder, to play to win, you are stealing a future regret. And with that thought in mind, feel you're leaving the boat, getting back on that jet ski, and realizing that even if one day the boat was to sink, you know how to ride a jet ski. That you don't want things to fail. You just trust that if they ever did, you would come back stronger. And like a computer game, where if you lose a life, you just come back again, the same is true. That any failure would give you wisdom and a fresh start. And that becomes a safety net to play at a more intense level than ever before. And feel that you're returning now to the shore with a sense of clarity. And then bring that clarity back to the present moment as you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.